Hey you, yes you. Did you know there could be other versions of you? In parallel universes? They could be plotting your demise as we speak. Beat them to the punch with quantum suicide. What's that you say? Well, let's first start with quantum mechanics. In a regular system, we can assume that a value is definite. That is to say, a light switch can be either on or off, but not both at the same time. The opposite is true with quantum systems, which are in all possible states at once. For example, let's say you're out of the house and forgot if you left the light on. For you, that light has the possibility of being on or off. Until you return, that light is in a quantum superposition, being both on and off at the same time. This is represented by a wave function. A wave function is an actual function, but for the purpose of this video, it is essentially the probability of a quantum superposition to collapse into a definite state. When you return home, the light switch of course won't be both on and off, and must choose, or collapse, into a definite state of either or. Once a quantum superposition is collapsed, it won't return to a superposition. You can leave your house again and come back later, but the light will always be in the state you first found it. Just to note, unlike a light switch example, actual quantum states actually decide the moment you first observe them, rather than being set ahead of time. This leads us to the many worlds interpretation, which, of course, means parallel universes. You know, where the other versions of you are still continuing to plot your demise. The many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics states that just like how quantum superposition is in all states at once, it collapses to all definite states at once, just in separate universes. Observers are more likely to be moved to the resulting probability with the highest chance. Going back to our light example, when you return home and observe the light, two universes are created, one with the light on and one with the light off. You're more likely to experience the one with the greater wave function, but both do happen. Got all that? Good. That means we can finally move on to quantum suicide. Quantum suicide is a thought experiment that could theoretically prove the many worlds interpretation. The experiment involves isolating yourself from other observers and a device that checks a quantum state every second to decide if it should kill you. The device creates a new light switch with a 50-50 chance of on or off every second, and then checks if it is on. If it is, you instantly die. Otherwise, it waits another second. If the many worlds interpretation is correct, two universes are created, one where you're alive and one where you're dead. While normally there would be a 50% chance for you to go to either, you cannot move to a universe in which you are dead, and as such you will have an 100% chance to move to the universe where you are alive, every time, meaning the light would always be off despite the 50-50 chance. This subjective state of surviving in probable odds is called quantum immortality. Now, before you go and commit quantum suicide, it is important to understand that the experiment described is entirely hypothetical, and relies on some things that are almost impossible in the real world, such as death being instant or that it is feasible to completely isolate yourself from the outside world. Most physicists also disagree with the many worlds interpretation, citing issues about other situations, such as death when not quantumly isolated. So, now that you're clearly an expert on quantum mechanics, you are ready to go into the many parallel universes and beat the other parallel versions of you. That is, those who haven't also watched the video. Good luck!